Hi, this is Debbie Bailey with another wellness check for the Orcas at SeaWorld San Diego, and here is the gate that I love to hate. I hate this thing, and I can't see anything. Between the distance I have to be back, the dirty glass, the glare off the glass, and my eyesight, I couldn't see anything. But I could tell that there was a lot of activity going on in there, and I could see people sitting at tables. So I know Dine with Orcas is going to go on. So I videoed it. But it was horrible. It was horrible because, it was just too dirty. But there were 4 orcas in there total, in that the tiniest tank. Okay? 4 orcas. It's too many. There was Kalia, Shuka, Makani, who is not a little orca anymore, and either Orchid or Corky, and I couldn't tell. But I stayed, and then I moved on to the show. And I saw on the left side collapsed dorsal fins. And I thought, oh my Lord. And here they come from the left. And it's the 3 boys. Yuli, Ike, and Keet. And here's Yuli. And he's doing his thing. And here is Keet on the front platform. Isn't he cute? He's such a sweet boy, but just wait till later. And then we got Ike in here. Okay? And these 3 orcas are doing tricks and all that stuff. And then I'm sitting in row 10. And I'm three rows back from the splash zone. You never get splashed in row 10. Okay? But see this ball of water? It's a ball. A huge ball of seawater. Okay? This is Keat's Tootsie Roll tail slingshot. And he lets that thing fly, and he drenches everybody in all 10 rows and back and further back from that in seawater. Thank you so much, Keet. We really did appreciate it. But that's what he has now. He has this great big slingshot. I mean, I feel really bad that his tail is closed. So now I'm sunburnt. I'm drenched in seawater. I'm praying that my phone don't die. But I don't leave because, see this shot? This is Corky's dorsal. And I know it. And sure enough, they open up the left gate again. And the 3 boys go out. And then the right gate opens up. And in comes a small orca. And just swims in and leaps in the air. Shuka, here's Shuka. Shuka. And then another orca comes in, and I can't see the dorsal. I can just see the body. And then it pops up. It's Corky. I was so happy to see her. I mean, and she went right to the back platform to get a bunch of food, and she got a bunch of fish. And then they did a couple of warm-up tricks, which I'll show you later. But then little things. And then Corky did back-to-back tricks, elements, back-to-back, seconds apart. This first one is the belly flop. She's a big girl, 8,000 pounds, right? 3 seconds later, she did the splash. And here's the best picture I could get of the splash. And you can see the 3 people waiting below. And I was so happy to see her. And I was so happy she was in that tank only with Shuka. And after a few minutes, I started getting really emotional because I knew what it meant. Okay? Corky's so big. I mean, if she had any rib problems, she had any side problems, there's no way she could have put all her weight into the belly flop and the splash if she wasn't totally okay. So I am letting you guys know that Corky is okay. And I'm really happy about that. And then I've got this picture of her while she was twirling around. And I caught this. because I wanted to see her jaw, her lower lip. It's totally white, no infections. She's good. She's good. And then 8 minutes into this, and then this is the last picture I'm going to show you for now. This is Shuka sliding across the back platform, doing the slide thing, whatever. And then they leave through the, right gate. And the left gate opens up, and here comes Ike all by himself. And they make this big announcement that, and here he is, leaping in front of the front platform. And he's now the biggest orca in captivity. Yuli is no longer the big man on campus. It's Ike. He weighs over 10,000 pounds. And he's even longer than Ulysses. He's massive. All right. Yuli does another trick. And then the show is over. But I'm not done. Even though I'm soaked in seawater. And I'm fried. And I'm burnt. And I went and made a formal complaint. And I'm showing you other pictures of the show. And I went to speak to at the front desk. I asked to speak to somebody about Corky. And I said, look, I was here in February when she was rammed by Orchid. And I want to talk to someone about Corky. So another employee came to me and we talked. And I said, look, I want to know what's going on with Corky. I said, I've been coming here my whole life practically. I said, and I love her. What happened? Yes, you saw what you saw. Orchid rammed Corky. We had to bring her out. I said, look, she was like in a depression for days. And they said she was never left alone. She always had another orca with her. And she started swimming and doing tricks within a couple of days. And she performed within a couple of days. And I said, is the rumor true that she performed by herself? Yes. But now she's performing with orcas that she truly gets along with. I said, good. I said, what happened last month in March? And this person told me that 10 minutes before showtime, they actually had them weeks later back to perform together. Okay, these idiots. And Orchid rammed Corky again. She swam away from her, flung herself up on to the front platform, and she was there for 6-7 minutes. They couldn't signal her off. They couldn't push her off. But then she came off by herself. And they had to get her out of there. They had to. They had to make sure that she was checked out. I said, did she get fed like she was in the show? Of course she did. Of course we fed her. Okay. So I said, well, are you going to keep her away from Orchid? Like you keep her away from Yuli? Oh, she'll never be in a tank with Yuli. Not ever. But I don't know. They're something about their social group and their social archy and the females and the this and the that. And I wasn't happy with the answer I got. I said, what about Kalia? And I gave her that knowing look. And this person knew exactly what I was talking about. And told me that in the last few months, they have had Corky in a tank that by herself. They'll introduce Kalia. They check each other out. And under a lot of supervision, they do a couple of things together. And they signal Kalia out. And that's what's going on there. So, all in all, from the orcas that I saw and I took close-ups of, they look good. Keet looks good. Zai looks good. Everything's good. It's got a mighty, powerful slingshot. Or Corky, our beloved Corky, she's fine. And I also stress to them, she's 60 years old. Orchid could truly hurt her. Whether they heard me or not, I don't know. All I can tell you is that right now, our beloved 60-year-old Corky is fine. Everybody that I could see looks good, including Keet. He was badly, badly raked. And I want to thank you very much for watching, for listening, and I'll see you next time. Bye.